Dolce Harper, a 23-year-old woman from a small town. Having recently lost her mother and struggling to support her father and younger brother, she needs a job, fast. Dolce is intelligent, warm-hearted, and ambitious, but life's challenges have left her feeling desperate. One day, while browsing job listings online, she stumbles upon an advertisement that seems too good to be true. The job requires a live-in domestic assistant for a wealthy employer, offering an astonishing salary. There's little information about the employer, and the job description is vague, but the promise of financial security for her family is too tempting to resist. Without hesitation, Dolce applies and is quickly hired. Dolce is driven by a sleek black car to a remote and ominous location, a towering Gothic mansion surrounded by a dense, fog-covered forest. The air feels colder than it should, and the silence is unnerving. The driver, a middle-aged man with an emotionless expression, leaves without a word after dropping her off at the gates. Unease settles in her stomach as she approaches the mansion's large iron doors, which swing open on their own, as if they've been waiting for her. Inside the mansion is an eerie mix of grandeur and shadows, high ceilings, dark corridors, antique furniture, and dimly lit chandeliers that flicker with the slightest breeze. A stern woman named Mrs. Reynolds, the head housekeeper, welcomes Dolce but reveals little about the mansion or its mysterious owner. He values his privacy, Mrs. Reynolds states coldly. Dolce is shown to her room, which is surprisingly luxurious compared to the dark, almost oppressive feel of the house. But the feeling of being watched lingers, making her uneasy. Strange noises echo through the halls at night, whispers, distant footsteps, and something moving just beyond her sight. Dolce dismisses it as nerves, trying to shake off her fears. The next day, Dolce begins her duties, but her curiosity about her employer intensifies. She hasn't seen or met him yet. Mrs. Reynolds only refers to him as the master, but her words are laced with a strange reverence and fear. Other staff members avoid Dolce's questions, their eyes darting away, unwilling to speak of him. One night, a strange feeling pulls Dolce towards a forbidden wing of the mansion. The air is thick, colder, and heavy with mystery. She hears soft, haunting music drifting from behind a set of massive double doors. Despite knowing she shouldn't, Dolce's curiosity wins, and she pushes open the doors. Inside, a grand room with a roaring fire greets her. Standing with his back to her is a tall, elegant man in an old-fashioned black suit. His presence is magnetic, his silhouette striking against the firelight. Her breath catches. This must be the master. Before Dolce can speak, the man turns to face her. His eyes are a deep, unnatural crimson, and his skin is pale, as though it hasn't seen sunlight in centuries. He exudes an aura of power, danger, and an irresistible allure. For a brief moment, his face shifts, something dark and monstrous, a glimpse of sharp fangs. Then it's gone, replaced by a cold, almost hypnotic smile. "You shouldn't be here," he says in a voice that sends a shiver down Dolce's spine, both terrifying and captivating. "But now that you are, we'll have to make some arrangements." Dolce's heart races. Fear and fascination mix within her as she tries to back away, but the doors slam shut behind her. The master's form begins to distort, his figure morphing into something darker, shadowy, something not human. His body contorts into a winged creature, a blur of motion that she can barely comprehend. The lights flicker, and then everything goes black,